All right. Good morning. So we will move into our mountain pose on the chair here. I still have this. So I don't even know where my other chair went. And my husband stole it and left me this thing. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't love it. I think I said that Tuesday though. Anybody else losing track of what day it is? Like every day? All right. We're going to start in our mountain pose. So you might have to kind of walk your seat bones back and forth, depending on the chair and your legs and all of that. You might want to be closer to the edge or closer to the back. You choose. Okay. And your feet are flat on the floor. And you want to feel your seat bones. So if, when you're walking them around, you want to feel them pointing down. Feet are flat on the floor and the knees are directly above the ankles. We can kind of take a peek, notice where they are. Stacking the spine over the hips and closing the eyes. So for me, it takes a little effort to sit upright like this. The more I do yoga, the more I realize that I do kind of wonky things in between yoga classes. So we're going to just check in and notice what we're bringing to the chair this morning. It could be physical, could be mental, emotional. Sometimes with the emotions, it's hard because it's actually, we notice the physical aspect of it, right? We might notice that we're snapping at somebody or we feel like a physical thing. So like tightness in the chest or some kind of like upset in the stomach. Of course, those are for what we interpret as a more negative emotion, maybe. And take a moment to think about what a positive emotion feels like in the body. You might think of a characteristic of, what is your body doing? Maybe you're having a smile on your face. Your eyes may be a little squinty. What does that feel like? So it physically feels like what your body is doing during that happy time, what it feels like. And the more you can clearly identify, picture, imagine these feelings, the more likely we are to recreate them, even without being in that experience. So for me, horseback riding, cantering through the field, I have that feeling of joy, and where there's like a little bit of, a little bit of fear, I guess, on some level, but it's mostly like exhilaration. So I'm trying to think of like, what does that feel like? And you want to experience that same feeling, but off the horse maybe, or, without actually physically doing whatever it is that makes you feel that way. And we'll bring the awareness to the breath now. Notice while you're breathing what moves and what stays still. Maybe you notice the chest and belly moving while you breathe. Maybe it's your back. Notice the temperature of the air. Now on your next exhale, we're going to start to dip the chin down towards the chest. And then on the inhale, start to bring the chin up to neutral and then slightly back. And we'll take a few more breaths like that. You know, I think about days that I'm more tongue-tied. I'm thinking, when am I not tongue-tied? Or my brain is thinking one thing and what comes out of my mouth is usually slightly different. I'm thinking left hand and I say right. So the next exhale that we take, we're going to dip the chin towards the chest and we're going to round through the spine. On the inhale, tip the pelvis forward, open up through the heart, arching the back, shoulder blades come towards each other. And if it's comfortable, the neck can rise, the chin can rise. And then exhaling and rounding. So do a few here. If it feels good to hold in one position or the other, go ahead and do that. So just moving back and forth, exhaling and rounding, inhaling and arching. And then we'll come back up through a neutral spine here. Find your mountain pose. We'll bring our hands to our shoulders, the tops of our shoulders. That's comfortable for you. And we're going to take some circles with the elbows. So I am circling to the back. The sensation when my elbows go back, that I'm opening through the chest. When my elbows go back, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. Good. And then we'll rest the hands in the lap, and we'll take just a couple shoulder shrugs. So we're going to bring the shoulders up towards the ears on the inhale, and exhale. You can do an open mouth exhale, letting the shoulders drop. Inhale, open mouth exhale. Do two more. Last one. And then just sit a moment here. Notice how there might be a little bit of, maybe a little bit of dizziness, but more of like an exhilarating kind of feeling from that breath. So we're going to bring our arms up for goddess. So we're going to inhale, lift the left arm, reach down with the right, taking a side bend. Come back to your goddess. Reach up with the right, down with the left. Come back to neutral. We're doing this a couple times. So reach up with the left, down with the right. And then come back to goddess. Reach down with the left, up and over with the right. Let's do two more on each side. And then one more each side. And last one right here. And then back to your goddess arms. So we're pulling the core in, keeping the spine neutral. And we're going to inhale, lift both arms up. If it's comfortable for your neck, you bring your gaze up. If not, just look forward. And then exhale like we're pulling something down. We're doing like a lat pull down machine here. Squeezing. So the biceps will be engaged. Your back between the shoulder blades is tightening. And then we're going to inhale, release everything, reach up towards the ceiling. We're going to do two more. Exhale, pull down. bicep curls. Show me your guns. Good. Inhale. How did that saying get started? How did it become a gun? And then back down. Good. We're gonna open up the arms wide and exhale, give yourself a hug. I read an article recently that was saying how since we're not hugging each other as much, that we should hug ourselves. Like, okay. So when you get your mask on and you're at Costco, you can give yourself a hug in line. That'd be cute. Okay. Open up the arms, take a big inhale, switch your arms and give yourself another hug. I was listening to VPR last night, or whatever that station is on the radio, on the way home from the farm, which is only a couple minutes. So I only heard a bit of it. Take some shoulder rolls here. And it said that why is Vermont kind of having less cases of the virus than some other places? And they were saying that Vermonters already are 6 feet apart most of the time when they're talking to each other, and that we're less likely to hug, like especially strangers or just like random people. But I know a lot of huggers, so I don't know if that really applies, but definitely the 6 feet speaking distance for sure. So bring our hand out to the side and we'll take some wrist rolls. Take a side bend again if you'd like. And wrist roll right back down. And feel it. So kind of notice that wrist roll. And even if you take a couple breaths here to kind of lengthen that, go ahead. Feel the wrist roll going up to the other side. So we can do things that are just like, look at me, wrist rolling, okay? Or we can do things with a little bit of more mindfulness, okay? Bringing both arms up. Maybe the palms touch if they can. You can bring them back down to heart center here, lifting the chest, engaging the core. So the core engagement is something I have to think about every time because I just kind of want to let it all hang out here all the time, but contract it, keep it tight. Wrist roll, bring it up and over if you can. You even hold your breath at the top of the inhale here and wrist roll right back down. So if you have a personal practice, a home practice, just this little flow that we do every time, maybe even the hand work, hopefully some of this becomes kind of ingrained and you remember it, and this could be your personal practice. This could be something you do at home. Inhale, well, on your own at home, not just right now. Push the ceiling away. We're getting really long through the spine, and then on the exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reaching out in front. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Tucking that core in as we exhale and bring the hands to the heart. And then wrist roll. Switching sides. Sweep both arms up. Push the ceiling away, lift up as high as you can, and then exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale again and fold. We're gonna inhale all the way up. Again, really lifting up tall through the spine here. And then exhale and twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale and twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then we'll take some wrist rolls. Switching sides. Sweep both arms up. Push the ceiling away, lift up tall, exhale and fold. Another option, instead of the halfway lift with it reaching out in front, you pull on the front of your knees and lift the chest. Got it? So it makes more of a arching feeling in the back. And then exhale and fold. So your choice, you can do either one. Inhale all the way up. Tucking that belly in as we exhale and twist to the right. Inhale back to center, through center, and exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, we're gonna pick the right knee up, squeeze it in back to the chest, and then reach down, hold it, bring it in even farther if you can. It can be directly in, forward towards your chest, or you can bring it out a little bit to the right. Take some ankle rolls. Trying to keep the chest lifted so we're not rounding through the back here. Staying up tall. Switch directions of your ankle roll. We'll lower it down. Inhale the arms up again. We'll exhale, lift the left knee. Squeeze it in towards your chest, and now use your hands, squeeze it in. Take some ankle rolls on this side. Switch directions. Funny, one direction I have a nice little circle, the other direction I have like, I don't know, like I'm drawing with my feet or something. Well, I literally am making a circle with my foot, but just messy, messy. Come back to center. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, last time through. Wrist roll. And wrist roll right back down. Switching sides. Sweep both arms up. Push the ceiling away and exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, reaching forward. Exhale again and fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right knee up. Give it a squeeze. Inhale, extend. So the right leg is straight. The arms are up. The foot is flexed. Your right foot is flexed. So it takes some effort, right, to hold it up here like this. We'll lower the right heel down. Bring the hands to the left thigh. You can kind of support yourself here as you hinge forward. So the more your right foot is flexed, the more intense the stretch will be in the back of the leg. We're still keeping our spine neutral, so we're not rounding or anything like that. We're staying with the chest lifted. Then you can hinge forward farther if that works for you. And then we'll sit up. Sweep both arms up. Exhale, left knee comes in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze. Inhale, extend the left leg. So left foot is flexed. Core is engaged as we set the left heel down. Foot stays flexed. Hands to the right shin, right thigh. I guess you can do right shin. Ooh, that's an intense stretch right there. Keeping the chest lifted. Even think about keeping your shoulder blades on your back. Taking just a few more breaths here. And then we'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Cool. All right. We reach both hands out in front of us. And your palms can be facing each other. They can be facing forward. It really doesn't matter as far as that is concerned. Without bending the elbows. So you can even hold something if you want, if that makes more sense. So you can hold something and you're bringing that object or your hands back towards your body a little bit without bending your elbows. So you're pulling your arms back. So your shoulders are moving backwards towards the back of the room. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades towards each other a bit. Maybe there's a movement of, I don't know, a couple inches. So you're pushing out in front or reaching in front, and then you're drawing your shoulder blades back and your shoulders back. Reaching out in front and then pulling the shoulders back. So with your reaching out in front, your shoulder blades are protracted. They're way to the outsides of your back. And then if you spring, they're retracted and you're bringing your hands back towards your body. So you probably feel it in your biceps, in the muscles between the shoulder blades, and release. Shake everything out. So if you were doing a plank or some exercise, weight bearing on your arms, you would have that protracted shoulder blade feeling. So you're kind of rounded through the upper back. So that kind of feeling. Okay. So we're going to rock to stand, pressing through the heels, just taking a few here, kind of coming forward and back. It's funny, I'm getting gossip on my phone or my watch during yoga, come all the way up. Guess it's better than bad news. So you can come behind the chair. So the chair can be facing the device here, or for me, I'm coming to the side, just so maybe you can see me a little bit better in what I'm doing. So behind the chair, we're gonna inhale and sweep both arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. So we're in our mountain pose, our standing mountain pose. Now you can still do this all in the chair if you want to. You're pulling the floor apart. So the legs are engaged. If you have a big belt buckle, that's lifting. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, place the hands on the back of the chair and step back as far as you can. This is your downward facing dog. You can bend your knees. You want a nice long line from your hands to your hips. Now, if your elbows or shoulders are really tight, maybe come in a little closer, but the back is still straight. Okay, so we're gonna inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the right foot as far forward as you can. Now, if you're close to the chair, my stance here is not a lunge. I just have one foot in front of the other. In this case, I would step my left foot back so that my right knee can be a little bit more bent. If your legs are too close together, you really have no place to go. Here, we're opening up through the hip flexor on the left side, and the right quad is getting a little bit of a workout. Left leg is working too, but this one here is, holding you up. So here, we're gonna inhale, maybe one or two arms up if you want. Don't have to. So you inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, place the hands on the back of the chair. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Come back into your downward facing dog. And if you're tight in the shoulders, maybe you're a little bit closer. Well, inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the left foot forward. And again, if your feet are too close together, step the right leg back a little bit more. So the right leg is straight and the left leg is bent. Option to inhale, arms one or both. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the left foot back to meet the right. In your variation of down dog, whatever that looks like, notice your balance here if you're shifting your weight onto one foot or the other. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step both feet up towards the chair. Inhale, up onto the balls of the feet. So your ankles are strong. Exhale, lower the heels. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So inhale, arms up, place the hands, step back into your down dog. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Inhale, one or both arms up. Exhale, place the hands, step the right foot back to meet the left. Back into your down dog. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale, the arms up. Woo, balance is hard. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into down dog. Inhale, look at the chair. Step both feet forward. Inhale, up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, we're gonna go through one more time, adding a little twist. Literally a twist. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, plant the hands. Anybody else laugh at their own jokes? Inhale, look at the back of the chair. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Keeping your hands here on the chair, we're gonna inhale, lift the right arm, taking a twist towards the right leg. Exhale, place the hands, step back with the right leg. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Inhale, the left arm up. Exhale, untwist. Step the left leg back to meet the right. Inhale, look at the chair. Exhale, step both feet forward. Up onto the balls of the feet. Lower the heels. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Awesome sauce. All right, I'm gonna face you guys again. I'm going to inhale and sit the hips kind of low here. We're gonna lift the right heel and lower. Lift the left heel and then lower. So we're gonna go back and forth here, lifting right heel, left heel. And you can kind of bounce if you want. It makes it fun. Of course, I'm pretty easily amused, I would say, for the most part. I attribute that to being an only child for like almost 10 years, I think. Living with a bunch of adults. No cousins until I was 7. Good. And then we'll come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. So we're going to turn our left knee out to the left toes, left knee pointing out to the left. You can bring it in, you can bring it up. It's our mountain pose. So check that our right hip isn't jutting out to the right. We're keeping it directly underneath ourselves. that's the first thing I want to do is like shoot my hip out like I'm carrying an infant. Been a while since I've done that either. So going to press down into the right foot, take whatever arm variation that you want. If you want to add a little excitement to your life, you can try closing your eyes. Keep that chair handy though. We're not pressing our left foot into our knee joint, so you can be either above or below it. You take just a couple more breaths here. Notice when you can still the mind a little bit, you can still the balance, still the body. And then we'll lower the left leg down and march it out. So we'll shift our weight to the left side here. Take our knee out to the right, right knee out to the right, right foot out to the right. Come in or come up, your choice. Opening that right hip. So this is a harder hip opening thing for me on this side. So I have to concentrate more on keeping that hip open. And take whatever arm variation that you want here. And when you start to wobble, smile. Taking just a couple more breaths. And then lower it down. That's extra hard today, for me anyway. So I'm bringing my chair back to the face of you guys. And come around the front of the chair. We'll do our gratitude here, our squats. And the feet can be feet and legs or hip width, which is about 2 fist distance. So your hips are not as wide as you think they are. You can take the feet and knees wide, so your goddess squat here. So whatever variation that you want. You can take any arm variation that you want. We'll stay in our pose here for a few moments and think about something that you're grateful for. You know, look for something maybe a little bit more subtle than your average, you know, try not to think of like the first thing you're grateful for. If that makes any sense. Think of something that maybe you are also grateful for, but isn't like the first thing. We'll take a big inhale here. Maybe sink a little bit lower and then come all the way down to the chair. And you can kind of jog in place here in the chair. Now, if you're stuck at a desk or, you know, maybe getting up and moving around isn't really feasible right now, you can jog in place wherever you are, in a chair. You can do it in a bed, kind of laying back and picking up each foot. Then we'll come back to our mountain pose. Check in. We'll lift the heels, coming up onto the balls of the feet, and we're going to drop the heels a couple times. This is our bone density. Strength training is also really good for this. Okay, so we're going to extend the right leg and we'll point and flex. Now, I have to really think about sitting upright during this while I point and flex because I really want to lay back because it's easier. Definitely learn a lot about yourself during yoga. And unfortunately for you guys, you learn a lot about me because all I do is talk about myself during class. Okay, and then bottom of the foot towards the midline and then away. So in my yoga teacher training, we had to do a class for each other. And one of the comments or critiques that they gave me was that I'm too self-deprecating, and I you know, that I say sorry, that I talk about things I can't do. Well, personally, I think we'll lift and lower the right leg here. Personally, I think that it's nice to know that your teacher is human, or that there are things that everybody has to work on and adapt to. I mean, obviously, I mean, you kind of know those things, but when your teacher is in there acting all perfect, it's kind of hard. Hold the leg up and then exhale, lower it down. You know, we'll bring the right leg back. So you might have to scooch to the outside, the right side of your chair, bringing your right leg back. Like during Zumba, people would say that they liked it when I messed up because it made me more human. I'm like, well, dang, if you like that, I mess up all the time. Some people have this great way of kind of hiding when they make mistakes, and that's not me. I have zero poker face as well. Why lying has never been my jam. Just doesn't work. Which obviously I don't think is a bad thing. And then we'll bring the right knee back forward and we'll hug it one more time, kind of bring it up as high as you can. And then we're going to rock it side to side. You can, while sitting up tall, we can circle that right knee around. You know, and the circle can be as big or small as you want, or as you're able, or, you know, you might have a right hip joint that's like, no. And then we'll switch directions. Okay, and then we'll set that right leg down. You can cross right leg over the left ankle, or right ankle over left ankle, or right ankle over left knee. And then we'll sit up tall here. And now, if your ankle is kind of collapsing and rounded here on this outside, you want to flex the foot so it keeps it straight in line with the shin. You can sit up tall here. You have the option, if you want more compression in that right hip, to lean forward. So, but if you're all really tight already, staying upright, perfect. Stay here, it's awesome. I'm super tight on this side. It's interesting. Some things are you can improve upon or gain flexibility. There's lots of yoga poses that help with flexibility. Obviously, there's ones that help with strength. Strength is one area that we could always improve on. Flexibility, yes, that as well. But sometimes there's like bony protrusions in your hips, or different things or different areas where you just come to the end and that's it. You know, it's not going to ever get, not to be a downer here, but it's just, it's a way to tell yourself that, you know what, I don't have to freak out about getting my heels down in down dog, because some people just can't. You know, so you can give yourself a little bit of compassion here and go, you know what, this is the way it is. It doesn't mean I don't try to to improve flexibility, but I'm not going to get hung up that my pose doesn't look like somebody else's pose, or that this knee is up in the air where the other knee is down. So we sit up tall here and close our eyes. Take a deep breath. And then we'll cross at the knees if your ankle was over the knee, or ankle to ankle if that feels more comfortable to you. If you're ankle to ankle, think about squeezing your knees together. So if you're ankle to ankle, we're not like hanging them open. We want to squeeze them together, right? And then we'll twist to the right. So whatever option, you can be cross at the knee or cross at the ankle, and we're going to twist to the right. This supposedly helps digestion to twist to the right and then twist to the left. So then we'll untwist, sit up tall again, and twist to the left, leaving the legs just as they were. And then we'll untwist, uncross anything. Just take a moment to evaluate how you feel, left and right side. You know, you can feel a little achy, you can feel like a little, like the side's worked harder, you know, the side that we just did. Could feel great, could feel really open and wonderful. Just notice. We'll now extend the left leg, straighten the left leg and point and flex here, the foot and toes. Even scrunch the toes up. Of course, I don't know what that reaction is to talk about scrunching up the toes, and I scrunch my face too, so I don't know. That's optional, I guess, multitasking. Bottom of the foot towards the midline and away. Might have a lot of movement here, hardly any, it's okay. Trying to sit up tall, not collapsing into the chair. So tempting. Okay, and then we're gonna do a few leg lifts here. So I have to move a little bit farther to the edge of my chair to do this. So lift and lower. This is actually tightening up the hip flexors. It works the core a little bit too, but it's actually working on the hip flexors. And then we'll lift and we'll smile. It's probably shaking like crazy. And lower it down. We'll bring that left leg back here, kind of scooch to the left side of your chair or turn sideways. And bring that left leg back. You can sit up tall here for a few moments. We got a new coffee maker yesterday, and instead of making like little cups, it's like a Keurig thing, but we use the refillable things. I don't know, a little bit more efficient than our last coffee maker. So now I'm like, I feel a little cracked out actually. Like way too much caffeine made it through here. Once in a while I try to give up coffee. I'm like, I don't need it. I don't want to be a slave to a beverage, which, you know, as a former alcoholic, you know, don't want to be a slave to anything. I really do enjoy coffee, especially on a day like today where it's like kind of wet and yuck out. Like, oh, hot PJs on the couch with the coffee. Yeah, nothing much better than that. Okay, we're going to hug the knee in. Squirrel. I guess we're thinking about coffee. Forget what I'm doing. Rock the baby here. And then sitting up tall, again, we're going to circle this left hip, the left leg around here, this left knee, and moving that left femur, or the top of the femur here in the hip joint, the head, right? I don't know, I can't remember. Taking my anatomy course here, a really great one through Yoga International, but there's so many words that sound so similar, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay, and then we'll switch directions. What, I think it's like a foreign language. If you don't use it all the time, you just, your brain's like, yeah, I don't have room for this. Gotta go. Take the course again, I think. Okay. Okay, and then set it down a moment. Notice it, see how it feels. And then we can cross the left ankle over the right knee, or ankle to ankle, again, your choice. The left foot is flexed now if your ankle sickles, so it's like kind of rounds here on this outside and sit up tall. You wonder about the importance of your ankle being straight. It's we don't want to overstretch the tendons on the outside of the ankle, because then you're more likely to, you know, break your neck when you're wearing heels, if you wear heels still. I have a pair of clogs that I insist on wearing only around here, and I'm like bound to break my neck in those things, but I still wear them. It's just clogs. They're the only clogs I have. They're just easy to put on. Anyway, the things we do, right, against our better judgment. Taking a few breaths here, kind of noticing where you feel compression. If you want to hinge forward and add more compression, you can. Just keep the chest lifted. Oh my goodness, class is flying by all of a sudden. So you can uncross, you can cross at the knee or ankle. So you're gonna uncross and recross here. So whichever one works for you. Again, if you're crossing at the ankle, try to keep your knees together. Take whatever variation you want. And then we're gonna twist to the right. And untwist and twist to the left. And then we'll untwist. And we'll work on our hands. So I'm going to come up a little bit closer. Okay. We're going to interlace the fingers, bringing the forearms together. You can figure eight the wrists. And switch directions if you can. Takes a little mental twister here. And then shake them out. I'm going to tap on the karate chop part of the hands. I hope people got to go outside yesterday. It was amazing, so beautiful. I thought of that when I noticed I have a little bit of sunburn, which put sunscreen on my face. Forgot about my arms because I was wearing a long sleeve shirt when I left the house. I swear I still need a mommy to kind of take care of me on a regular basis here. And then the heels of the hands. I always thought that would be why I would make a terrible parent, barely take care of myself. But then, I don't know. I do take better care of other people than myself. I'm sure a lot of us are like that. The bottoms of the thumbs. Take your hand palm out, and then your knuckles here where your rings would be, or rings are, I guess, if you're wearing rings, and you're kind of punching into your palm. Your rings are jabbing into your hand. If you got some big bling there, you can turn it around. With the whole hand washing thing, I just stopped wearing rings. Switch sides. Not that I didn't wash my hands before when I was wearing rings, but just that the amount of my hand washing, my skin was peeling off. It was like not fun, not comfortable. Okay, backs of the hands. And kind of relax your shoulders down. I just noticed mine were creeping up here. One thing I miss about the in-person classes is that, you know, in person, I could see when other people were, you know, coming up with their shoulders. I could see that much better and, you know, address it or remind it. And now I just have to remind you guys when I'm actually clenching and doing goofy things. So switch. And then interlace the fingers. And then hold and switch them all by one and go again. Gotta breathe in here. Wind's starting to pick up outside. Well, and in here too, apparently. Okay, and then the thumb and forefinger webbing. And then switch. And then we're gonna take these beautiful, hardworking, prana-filled hands, and we're going to place them on a body part that is challenging or body parts. So wherever you need to send a little extra love, you can close your eyes or take a soft gaze and mentally focus on the places that your hands are, what they're touching. You can maybe focus on the warmth coming from your hands. We're sending love to those spots, acceptance, energy. And then we're going to slowly remove the hands. You can sit back into your chair. And I want you to kind of scan the body again and notice what's in the chair right now. You know, notice what we're bringing to the chair. Notice what we have now. Now, I've had a couple classes that I've been to where I feel like this huge shift, you know, this huge emotional change or physical change from class. And then, but the majority of classes, it's just like a subtle shift. So you can notice or look for the more subtle things. And you can bring the awareness to the breath. We're gonna do just a couple minutes, like 2 minutes of pranayama here, where we will inhale for a set number of breath or number of seconds. You can hold for half that amount of seconds. So if you're inhaling for 4 seconds, you can hold for 2, exhale for 4, hold for 2. So it's, or you could do the same amount depending on what you feel up to. For me, I get a little, in the beginning of pranayama, I get a little like almost like claustrophobic feeling. So if it doesn't work for you and you're feeling, if it's adding stress, just leave it out. So we'll inhale for set number of time, set number of amount here. Hold. Exhale. And hold. So just like that, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So go on your own here for a couple of breaths, couple rounds. Okay, finish one more round here. So finish that pranayama here and just check in again. Last time, checking in, noticing how you feel. And we'll bring our hands to our heart. We'll thank ourselves for coming together this morning and practicing together. May we all feel loved, grateful, and connected. And may we have the strength, courage, and balance to overcome all the obstacles before us. From my heart to your heart, peace and namaste.